Got a beta, just like Paul Cuffaro. We're here with the beta species of fish, one of the most misunderstood fishes probably in the community. Probably one of the best personalities. This is Sky, a female beta. Very beautiful, great patterns. She interacts with me very well. She let me pet her maybe every now and then. She's in here with her two pals, golden snails. This one right here, she actually had a little accident, crawled out the tank, fell and cracked her shell open. Everything that you're seeing in that inner part was actually hanging out of there. I panicked, didn't know what to do. I was going to stick her in quarantine, but a buddy of mine who knows a lot about snails said, give her some time, toss her back inside of the tank that she was in. She'll be just fine. El Hill. This one, I actually purchased him. Let's see, can't really get it to zoom in. Actually purchased him with that cracked open like that, and his closed up very well. But he said eventually it will heal. It will grow back in a couple of months, which I knew for sure. I just never experienced their insides hanging out. I know she's the female and he's the male due to I catch her laying the eggs all the time. Her little babies all over there. But here goes the beta. She thinks I'm a feeder. She gets fed once a day, every single day. That's why she's a little fat. Every once in a while she gets some bloodworms. It's really weird because betas are like considered meat eaters, so they eat other fish and insects and things like that. I catch her eating algae and things like that. She loves to like groom off of these moss balls. Now this is like, you see all this stuff down here? It's just snail poop, a little bit of her poop, and some shrimp poop. Now you're probably thinking you should get that out of there. It's bad for the tank, so on and so forth. It's actually not. It's very beneficial to the shrimps that I have inside of the tank. Snail poop is very important actually for cherry shrimps. You should look into it. Do some research. Now, reason why I like betas, it's because they have cool personalities, great patterns. I wish she'll come up here so that I can show you guys her a little bit more. They have very great patterns. They're very slow, calm swimmers. And they're misunderstood a little bit like me. And a lot of people don't understand them. They're thinking they're just mean. Fish is fish. They can't be with anything. Yada, yada, yada. It's not true. Betas do get along with other fish. They can be in tanks with other fish. I prove it to you. This is Violet. She's in a tank with two gouramis, two mollies. These are platies. Yeah, platies. Dojaloach. And two common plecos. They don't bother her. She don't bother them. She loves being in here with them. You might think she's stressed right now. She's not. She thinks she's getting fed. I have other tanks where I have betas and a sorority, multiple females in one tank. I even been successful enough to get males into a tank with multiple females. The way of doing it, it takes a lot of patience. You have to start from the beginning and do everything slowly, introducing slowly. And I'll walk you through it. You pretty much need, if you're looking to get a tank with multiple betas in it, starting with females, you want to get the tank cycled for about 4 weeks to 6 weeks, get some beneficial bacteria in there, maybe get a booster or something like that. You want to get plants in the tank, heavily plants, meaning a whole bunch of plants in the back that are tall. Some smaller plants up front, then you want hiding spots. So rocks maybe stacked on top of each other, maybe some wood like this that they can get up in the crevices. You want hiding spots inside of the tank, just in case you might get one bully out of the bunch. Now this tank, obviously I can't get a bunch of plants because my dojo loach right here. He thinks it's real cool to rip them all out. But you get the tank started up, you get your plants in there, give the plants about another 2-3 weeks to settle in, let the roots get into the ground, maybe even 3 weeks, grab onto the rocks or whatnot. Test it, see if it's all good. Get yourself maybe 2 or 3 bottom cleaners, probably 4 or 5 if you're going with some Cory cats like I have in here. Yeah, forgot about them. I got 5 Cory cats in here. Beta actually likes to follow them. I think she might think she's a Cory cat. So once you get the plants and all that in there, you get some bottom feeders, start feeding the tank a little bit. Get your betas. Get 2 at a time depending on how many you want to put in. Introduce them. As soon as you see a little fighting, let that happen. But if you see it constantly, remove the one that's more aggressive. Get yourself another 2 betas. Introduce all 3 of them in at the same time. Give them some time to get to learn each other. Always introduce fish at nighttime with the lights off in the tank. It allows the fish to not really know what's in there with them. They're not going to be paying attention of fish. They're going to want to hide. They want to go to sleep. They can't see anything. When the daytime comes and you turn your light back on, they're going to be surprised that each other's in there. Now you got about 4 to 5 betas in the tank. You might see some nipping here and there, because there's going to be one beta in there that was going to want to be the boss. That's normal. Let it happen. The plants and the hiding areas will help. Then add another beta or 2 in there. Pretty much want to add them in 2s depending on how big your tank is. You're going to need a big tank. The more betas you want, the bigger the tank has to be. I have a 55 gallon in my uncle's house right now that has a good amount of betas in it with some other fish, and is doing really successful. I'm trying to add a male in there, but that's going to be in the future. The betas are really cool. You're going to really want to be patient with them and give them time. Give them stuff to interact with. They have these cool plants at like PetSmart and stuff like that that have these suction cups you can put onto the side of glass. They actually like to lay on them and stuff like that. There's little mirrors you can get to put them on. Betas are very cool fish. They're very weird. They like to do their own little thing. Get some shrimp, some ghost shrimps. They'll pick off the young. And then over here we have Tips. She's named Tips was when I got her. She was a little disformed. See the bottom fins? They were in bad condition and they weren't growing like that for a while. She just started growing them in and they grew in very pretty. But she got her name Tips. And she's very cool. At one point, this tank here was a sorority. It was housing 4 female betas. I had to move them due to him. He's a rescue plecos that I took from a friend. He's only in this 10 gallon for right now because his 55 is cycling. And in the other tanks that I have in the other house, not the betas. The plecos in there are a little way bigger than him, and I'm afraid that they'll bully him or kill him. And then the other tanks that I have, he's bigger than the other fish in there, and I don't want him latching on to any big fish or sucking them dry. So he's in here until his tank cycles. He was going to go in this one, the 29, but then I decided to escape it and do something with that. This is a real cool fish tank here. It's going to get a makeover. We got live and fake plants in here. I advise everyone to always get a few real plants, whether you like them or not. Get some easy take care plants. They do very good with ammonia. This tank has no ammonia in it due to the plants. This tank struggled with ammonia, added the plants in. A month later, with the water changes in the plants, no ammonia in the tank. This tank is going through an ammonia issue, and that's because it's still cycling. I had put my gadget in there to help it out. It worked beautifully. But this is what we're looking at. Now, I always had betas in my family. It's a fish that I knew about a long time, but really didn't know too much about them. And started watching cuffaro sometime like years ago, and he had a beta named Luna, and very beautiful fish, white. I think she had a little red on her. I think she passed recently. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and get me a personal beta, and that's what I did. I went and got betas, personable, gave them names, and now we have Sky, Violet, and Tips. Thank you for viewing. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment.